Hi, I'm Colin with Team Zubor and Associates at Stonehaus Realty Incorporated, and I specialize in helping homeowners downsize with confidence. If you've been in your home for decades, you probably have questions like this. What if I don't get enough for my home? What if it's not the right time to sell? What if moving ends up being too overwhelming? These are all real concerns, and they keep many people stuck in homes that no longer suit their lifestyle. The truth is, downsizing doesn't have to be stressful, and you don't have to leave any money on the table. That's why today, I'm going to show you how to complete a competitive market analysis, otherwise known as a CMA. This process will give you clarity on your true market value so you can move forward with confidence, protect your equity, and start enjoying the next chapter of your life. Let's take a look at a typical downsizer's home. Let's say it's a 5-bedroom, 3-bathroom detached home with a 7,800 square foot lot in Burnaby South. It's comfortable, it's full of memories, but at this stage of life, it might also feel too big, too much to maintain, and not the right fit anymore. This is the kind of home I help my clients evaluate all the time, and the best way to do that is with a CMA. Before we dive into the numbers, let's talk about a few common fears downsizers share with me and how this process helps. What if I don't get enough for my home? The CMA shows exactly how buyers and agents determine market value, so you can feel confident you're getting the strongest return. What if it's not the right time to sell? Timing feels scary, but the reality is demand can be created in any market situation with the right strategy. The CMA focuses on current market value and less on timing. And when it comes to downsizing, it can be more about whether the move is right for your life. It's just too much work. I hear this often. And the good news is you don't have to do it alone. I connect my clients with organizers, movers, and cleaners who handle the heavy lifting so you can focus on your next chapter. As we've gone through this example, you've probably noticed how many common fears this process addresses. If you're worried about repairs, sometimes selling as is fine, or small updates can be done affordably. If you're worried about privacy, showings are by appointment only with qualified buyers. If you're worried about family pressure, I provide clear data so your loved ones can see that this is a smart and proactive move. The CMA takes the guesswork out of selling and replaces it with confidence and clarity. Okay, so now I'm going to walk through how I process a competitive market analysis for an example property, which is a 5-bedroom home, 3 bathrooms, 2,400 square feet on a 7,800 square foot lot in Burnaby South. Go over here to the computer. I've got the criteria on the screen here. What we're looking for is we're looking for active listings, and we're also looking for sold listings. There. As you can see, we're looking for active listings or active under contract, but we're also looking for closed and pending listings as well. So we're going to save that. And the area that we're looking for, I'm in Paragon, which is what realtors use. I'm looking for Burnaby South. I'm looking for a list date going back a year. I want to know when it was listed back a year and also if it was listed up to today. And I'm going to be able to catch all of the sales in between that period as well, anything that's completed. We're looking for a house. We're looking for 5 bedrooms. I'm going to put 6 in there just to see what we get. Just a little bit of buffer space because we can always detract from an extra bedroom because we know an extra bedroom is going to be worth a little bit more. And also total bathrooms, 3, and I'm going to go up to a max of 4, again, for the same reasoning. I can detract that extra bathrooms value from the value of the house. Ground floor area, 2,200 to 3,000. It's not going to play into a huge factor, but it is going to, again, if there's more square footage, that is going to, so I'm going to correct myself there. Normally, square footage would have a huge impact on the house. However, Burnaby particularly is seeing a lot of value derived on land because Burnaby has allowed the SSMUH legislation and has encouraged it in their municipality. So a lot of properties are being bought for land value now because a developer or a potential investor can take a single lot, if it's large enough, subdivide it, and put up to 6 small multi-unit houses on it. So a sixplex or a fourplex or a threeplex. But Burnaby has outlined and put it in their city that they are proactively going for this SSMUH. And you can find out more about the SSMUH at Burnaby. If you go to this website, burnaby.ca, they have an R1 small scale multi-unit housing district there, and it'll give you all the details that you need to know. So you can do a 6-unit home on a 3,025 square foot lot if it's within a frequent transit network. And they have all the details of what can be built and what can't be built. I'm not going to go into the details on the small scale multi-unit housing, but what I can say is for detached homes in Burnaby, there is a lot of pressure for the development, and that's where we're seeing buyers come in. So much that, so what you're looking at is not the value of the house per se, it's the value of what can be built and developed on that land. Land is disappearing, and there is going to be a drive to purchase these available single detached homes in Burnaby for that process. And so that's why I corrected myself there. If it's a condo or townhome, and even for detached homes, the square footage is very important, and it's going to dictate a price. But we're also going to see a dictation of what's the lot size here, and that's why I corrected myself. So we've got a 7,000 to 8,000 square foot home, and now we're going to do a search for it. And what we've done is we've searched here, and as you can see, I've got also a map of where the homes are. We've got one up here, which is very close to Canada Way and Royal Oak, and our location is going to be more South Slope area here. It's going to be a bit higher value than what this home is, but we'll go and take a look at it just to keep note of that. And we go to our spreadsheet here. We've got the MLS numbers. So this is that home that was up by Canada Way. It sold in February, completed in February. It was only on the market for 11 days, 1.68. Okay, that's a good price for this home. The location is going to be a bit busy, but in terms of if a developer was going to develop it, it would be a good location for a small scale multi-unit housing. 7,600 square feet, 2,200 square feet. So it's a little bit smaller in terms of size, 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. But it's kind of an anomaly because it's out of where our area is, and I wouldn't say that it's an apples to apples comparison. Going to the next one, this is just on the market right now, 0 days. So as you can see, we see properties as soon as they're listed. There is no delay. And when we set up email campaigns or emails for you to get new listings, you do see them the day they're on the market. This one's listed at 1.85. It's 6 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. The pictures aren't up yet. That's how new it is. 2,600 square feet. It's a little bit bigger than our home. And that's interesting. So it's at 1.85. We haven't looked at the house. We haven't seen anything about it. We can read here about the details, but now you can see, and I'm going to highlight this, it's in most of the listings now with Burnaby's new R1 small scale multi-unit housing development opportunities. This large lot is good for development. Let's go into the next one. Okay, so we're at 56854 Street. This is active. It's 2.088, 6 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, 2,300 square feet. Development potential, again, small scale multi-unit housing. This is closed, 5641 Oakland Street, 2.112, 5 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, so a little bit extra value there. 2.856, so it's a bit bigger as well in terms of size. And this one looks like they're not advertising that it's a prime for development, but it's a 7,800 square foot lot. This is a duplex lot in Burnaby, 2.199. It is 7,700 square feet, so very close to our target lot with 7,800, 2,300 square feet, very close to our property, 2,400 square feet home. Again, we're going to see here potential to build up to 6 units. So this is, again, what's driving the detached market here in Burnaby. And obviously there's people buying homes to live in as well too, but there's going to see a lot of development potential. 6 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, 66 years old, 2.36 million selling price, 2,800 square feet, so 400 square feet larger. Okay, that's great. It's close to Metrotown. Was listed originally 2.428 and then relisted for 2.398, and it sold for 2.336. 7,300, so it's a bit smaller of a lot. 65-year-old home, 4372 Greta Street, very close to Metrotown. Closer to Metrotown, there's going to be a little bit more value there too, because it's going to be desirable for people to walk to Metrotown, right? It was listed at 2.548. It's pending, so it was a recent transaction, which is really good. Recent transaction, 7,700 square feet. That's very close to what our property is. 2,400 square feet as well. So almost an apples and apples comparison. And as you can see down here, ideal for builders and investors in the heart of Metrotown. 65-year-old home. It was listed for 2.548 million. It has sold at 2.4. Okay. It's a very, very good apple-to-apple comparison. 6555 Charles Street. This is active. It's on the market for 2.55. It's 5 bedrooms again, 3 bathrooms. Okay, that matches our T. 60 years old. It's an old timer like ours. 2,600, so it's a bit bigger. Okay. In terms of square footage, renovated home. Okay, it's a renovated home. So you think renovated home, it's someone's going to want to live in it. But again, look down here. 7,800 square foot land with back lane. Maximum SSMUH per lot is 6. Inquire with the city. So again, these are really being marketed to people who want to purchase them, hold them, or purchase and develop them into potentially 6 units, homes, or even subdividing and doing 2 lots with multi-unit housing on it as well. And that's really what the city is pushing for in Burnaby. Last but not least, this is active. It's 6250 Clinton Street. It's a little bit newer, so 37 years old. 6 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms. It's listed at 3.18. It's 2,700 square feet. It's a big home. It is also newer than our home, ours being at about the 60, 58, 55-year-old range. It's on the slope, so it's very close to where we are. But again, we're going to see here, this quality built executive home sits on a subdividable 60 by 119 lot in a prime location. Again, they're marketing these properties to potential developers who want to subdivide and potentially build 2 multi-unit houses on the properties. But this is what we're looking at. And this is why we look at the market. It doesn't matter what you think the property should be worth, or what your cousin or your son or your aunt or your whoever it is that's telling you what a property should be worth. They don't know, because they aren't actually looking and seeing what's driving the market. And right now, what's driving the market, particularly in this region, is the development of small-scale multi-unit housing, and subdividing lots and putting those homes on these lots. Now I'm going to look at also here, we've got the Burnaby statistics, and this is really important. Just get a rough idea. Averages. So averages of all the smallest homes, all the largest homes. Ours is in the south slope. We've got 6 sales. Great. Our average price per square foot is coming in at $732 in all of Burnaby, so not just the south side. And that's where we're taking this with a grain of salt. We just want to look at numbers just really quickly, see what's going on. 2.1 is the average for the home sold, and that's just really important to see. And what are our houses selling at? We had 12 homes sold in the 2.25 range. We had 6 homes sold in the 2.2 to 2.5. So again, good numbers in particularly the homes that we're looking at right here. And I'm going to put this statistics just over here for now. And what I've done, and what I like to do is, so this one, this last one we looked at, it's not really comparable to where we are. It's not really an apples to apples. The first one as well, I'm going to say, given its location, how quickly it sold, I think they left some money on the table. I hate to say it, but I really do think they could have got a little bit more out of this property given where it's located and the desire for development to build small-scale multi-unit housing. 7,600 square feet, subdividable, they could have done that. Just saying that it sold in 11 days, I do think they left some money on the table. Not a lot, but I do think they listed a little low. 1.649, that's a little low. So they might have wanted to sell it very quickly. Now, what I've done is I've taken all these properties and the MLS numbers, and I put it into a software called AutoProp. And as a realtor, I use AutoProp quite frequently to do CMA analysis. And what I'm going to do is it's going to put all these into basically a spreadsheet for me. And what I'm going to look at is what was the average price of our homes per square foot, so all the ones that we have combined. I'm gonna uncheck this Greta one here, see if it changes my numbers. 878. Put it back in. 887. Yeah, we'll take it out. It lowers things. So I thought Greta was not really a comparable, given. Sorry, not Greta. We're not taking Greta out. I apologize. What we are taking out, because Greta is sold, I was looking at the bottom of the spreadsheet. What I am taking out is Clinton, because it is built in 1988, although it's still being marketed for development. Just a little bit too newer and a little bit too big. It was a bit bigger than our home. I'm just taking that out so I can have a better idea of what we're looking at price per square foot for the home itself, and what's more important is what's the price per square foot for the land. So coming in here, you can see all these properties put into here. We've got an average of $853.26. That's price per square foot. And then we have an average lot size value of 283. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that value into 283 times 7,800, and that gives me a value of 2.207. Okay, that's great to know. And then I've also got this 853. So 853 times our home's 2,400 square feet, 2.047. So as you can see, a little bit more value on the land side than just what the home itself is commanding. So I'm going to go back to my Paragon here, and I'm going to skip forward 221. This one sold at 2. So 5641 Oakland sold at 2112. It completed, so it's sold in 13 days. Again, 13 days, that's fast. So did they leave some money on the table there? We've got a completion was August 11th. Subject removal date was June 12th. That sold very quickly at 2,800 square feet, 7,800 square foot lot. Okay, so I for sure would not want to list this home at 2.188. Unless my client directed me to sell this property as fast as possible. If my client said, we want to get the maximum value and we're okay if it sits on the market for 30 to 60 days, if you don't see any action within if we're not seeing people come through the door, we're not getting traction with showings or anything like that, then that's a good indication we could be too high. This one here as well, I'm looking at something like this as well. 2.336 Burnaby South by the Burnaby Hospital, 2,800 square feet. And then more importantly as well, we've got Greta. So 2,400 square foot home, 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, Metro Town, 2.4 million. It was listed for 2.548. So if I'm trying to get maximum value, my client said, I want maximum value. This was only on the market for 30 days. So that's a great indication. Like, it's a great indication. It's on the market for 30 days. That's a good time frame to see a house be shown, marketed, and sold. And it sold for 2.4 million. Okay. So where are we going to price this home? Honestly, I think to be, for a client that says, Colin, we want to get the maximum value for this property, I don't care if it takes 30 days and if it takes 60 days to get completion done. It's all good. We're going to list this home at, we're on the south slope, maybe 2.449. Okay. If it was, my seller was, I'm ready to move, I want to get this done as quick as possible. We want good value, but we're just, if we can get it done as quick as possible, that'd be it. And that's, everybody has their own situation, right? In that case, I would probably price it at, 2.399. So going back for max value, we're going to try and get as close to 2.4 million on this property. And given this comparable at Greta, 4372 Greta, 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, 65 years old, that's very close to what we're going for in terms of our home, 2,400 square feet, ideal for builders and investors in the heart of Metro Town. We're on the south slope, so we're going to be a little bit less, but the market's dictating that this is where this value is. And that's why we do a CMA, so we can see what market value is at and have a clear and comprehensive understanding of what's driving the market today. So now you've seen how a competitive market analysis works and how it gives you the clarity you need to make a confident decision. The next step is simple. Let's create a personalized CMA for your home. I'll walk you through your property's value, show you the best strategy to sell your home quickly, and help you maximize the equity that you've worked so hard to build. Just reach out today. Email me at colin@zubor.ca to schedule your free personalized CMA session. Together, we'll make sure you sell with confidence, protect your equity, and move forward into a lifestyle with more freedom and less stress. I look forward to helping you take the first step into the next chapter. I'm Colin at Team Zubor & Associates with Stonehaus Realty. Thank you for watching.